cool. President Obama's former Attorney General, Eric Holder, is the latest to attack the current Attorney General, Bill Barr, following the release of the Mueller report, saying, quote, "He's making mistakes," Holder says. "The Attorney General of the United States is the people's lawyer, not the president's lawyer." Now, don't forget, Holder once had a very different idea about his own relationship as Attorney General with then-President Barack Obama. Listen.
Are you going to stay around for all 4 years?
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Come on, man. Come on.
We need you.
I got to ask.
Come on, Mr. Attorney General, please.
So, well, I'm happy. I'm still enjoying what I'm doing. There's still work to be done. I'm still a president's wingman, so I'm there with my boy.
Oh, here to weigh in, Fox News contributor, syndicated columnist DeRoy Murdoch. Good morning, sir. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, Ed. How are you?
So, I'm doing great. Except I hear him, Eric Holder, attack the current Attorney General as being the president's boy, essentially, when he called himself Barack Obama's boy and wingman.
Yeah, quite amazing.
How does that work?
Well, I think we ought to start at something new, which is the Nobel Prize for Chutzpah. And the first recipient should be Eric Holder. This is an amazing thing. I mean, remember, this man was held in contempt of Congress because he did not turn over documents related to the Fast and Furious scandal. So here he is saying that William Barr is engaging in some kind of a cover-up or not being sufficiently transparent. He actually was held in contempt of Congress for that and continued to serve in office. He didn't resign and pack up and walk.
In this case, meanwhile, the current president, and it's a relatively new Attorney General, there was no executive privilege invoked at all.
Correct. And remember, the only thing that William Barr had to do is just tell Congress, no collusion, no obstruction, period. He could have put a one-sentence letter and sent that. That would have been it. Instead, we get a press conference. He answers questions, releases to Congress, releases to the public. No executive privilege, as you said. All the documents and witnesses that Mueller wanted, he got. So I don't know where the obstruction is. There's nothing that they've obstructed.
The only reason largely that we know about these 10 episodes or so that Mueller looked at on whether there was obstruction was because the president, as in the current president, President Trump, allowed his White House lawyer, Don McGahn, to testify about all of this. He could have said, executive privilege, time out, you're not learning anything.
Yes, and Obama's done that sort of thing. Previous presidents have said, look, this is something we just need to keep inside the White House. I need to have the quiet counsel of my counselors, and a lot of courts have upheld that. Trump's attitude was, go ahead and talk. I think he spoke for 30 hours, if I'm not mistaken. They also made no attempts to redact anything from the Mueller report when President Trump's lawyers were able to get a sneak preview of it.
You called it chutzpah, but there's a special approach, I guess would be a kind way of saying it, for Eric Holder to now sort of lecture Team Trump on obstruction of justice, executive privilege, and whether or not the Attorney General is independent.
Yes, I think you also could say a complete lack of self-awareness. I mean, he's in no position to do this sort of thing. I mean, if he'd walked out without any scandal, having had a very open, transparent administration or running of the Department of Justice, he could say that kind of thing. But he is in no position to lecture anyone about any of this sort of thing.